So we got disconnected again, but you were talking about that quote from the Bible you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it says God's delays are not God's denials, and for us to look at that as delays, not denials. Often in life, we're just so focused on achieving a goal. If we don't get it when we want to, we put ourselves down, and we start comparing our life to others. But it isn't it's not a race, and also you may never do all the things you want to do in life. That's life. The focus is, why not enjoy the moment? Why not really milk the moment? And as they say, you've got lemons, make lemonade, but use the moment. And I think I've wasted a lot of my life in the early years, but there's no regrets looking back, because that's who I was at that time. That's who I was, party animal, always partying, always enjoying. But that was my focus that time, until I found really what I loved doing in life, which is what I'm doing. So for me, there's no race, and there's room for plenty of people in my industry. So for anyone out there who's thinking that they're being denied their dream, think again. Really have to work on yourself, because the minute you do that, the minute you start loving yourself, is the minute you start loving life, and everything follows after that. The relationship follows. You can improve your body, you can improve your self-esteem. Adam? There you are.
Yeah, so it's but yeah, he said you have to start loving yourself and start living your life.
Yes, so you can start living your life, and as a result, you improve your self-esteem, your self-worth, because people love it. People love being around people who are comfortable in their own skin. So self-love, self-worth, self-confidence, comfortable in your own skin, and people love that. They just love it. There's nothing worse than being in the presence of someone who's got so many issues that they're bringing the energy down of the room where you are, and they leave you feeling bad constantly. We all want to help people, but they've got to help themselves, essentially. Got to help yourself. That's so important.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely important. I think, like you said, it's addressing those things in yourself. If you want to do something deep down in your heart and soul, like you're doing, like you said, in the past, we're not that same person. That's just who we were back then. We are the same person some way, but we've just grown and evolved from that moment, and that's okay. And you talked about the energy of people, and if people are more comfortable in themselves and more relaxed, it's that energy, isn't it? And we're all connected, as we said before. And if someone So I have no idea what's happening with my internet.
Could be anything. Could be anything, mate.
It's probably the Russians. I'm just joking. We talked about like self-love and like the energy of people. So I've recognized that when I've worked in some places, we can be working with someone who doesn't like the job that they're doing, and they're creating a bad vibe because they're not enjoying it, but they have a choice to change that job if they want to. I think especially if you're working with people or customers, and then they're picking up on it, and it can go the other way, and then people might lose business because of, you could get one bad person or one person who's not happy, infects that group, and the morale goes down, and then you got the customers who then pick up on that and might not want to go into the place. I had it when I went to a pub yesterday with my girlfriend. We walked in, we booked a table, and the energy and the atmosphere from the person was off, and they just bunked us down on a table, and we just like left and went somewhere else. But it was that if that person had a different vibration from them, we probably would have stayed.
Yeah, attitude is everything. I noticed that a couple of days ago. I went to a well-known. I went to Starbucks, and the girl there behind was taking the money. I noticed manners. So she didn't say please. She didn't say thank you all the way through our conversation. Oh, Adam disappeared, mate.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, great. So
She didn't say please or thank you.
yeah, I didn't say please or thank you. It was literally flat. And I said at the end, I said thank you, and then it was almost like she was prompted to say thank you. It was very strange, very strange. And then I was somewhere else. Then I can't remember where it was, a shop, and the woman, oh yeah, well, I was paying for petrol, and it was just, this, it was just something in the air. Perhaps there was not even a thank you after I left, after you paid for the petrol. So things like that, and you think, right, what's going on in that person's life, and I can categorically say those two people didn't really have high levels of self-love, because if you do, you'd recognize certain things about you. You'd recognize that you were lacking in manners. It goes hand in hand, because your behavior changes. Because the more you love yourself, the more you love others. The more you want to be polite to others, the more you want to be complimentary to others, the energy changes and your attitude is at a much higher level. It's a much better level than the type of person who really does have deep-seated self-hatred or self-sabotage or lack of self-love, and it's not their fault. That's the main thing. It is not their fault, because I used to be like that. And it is a case of having to learn every day, specifically, that, yeah, you are good enough, you are lovable, you are loved. No one is better than you, but you're not better than everyone else. For us to remember these key principles of life, that everyone is equal and everyone is lovable, but to understand that when you meet someone, they might be in such a dark place that they feel incapable of self-love.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think, like you said, it's not personal to you. It might be something going on with them. They might have had a bad day. There's so many kind of layers behind what we see in front of us, isn't it, really? But it's that it all kind of comes back to self-love, because, it's like you said, those manners, these little tiny things, which are quite big things in itself. You have to be quite mindful of how you communicate and verbalize with other people, don't you? If you want to do it in a respectful, kind way. And those little cues, isn't it, as well? It might even be opening up a door for somebody, or pulling a chair out for someone, or whatever it is. It's these little kind of cues, because we want to help other people, because we might do that for ourselves, so that kind of thing. But like you said, it's these things that some people don't address, or they're not mindful of, or their attention's somewhere else. But it does it's all connected when you think about it. When you tie all the dots together with everything we've been talking about, it all comes back to, self-worth, self-love, our values as people. It's all kind of in the same basket almost.
Yeah, and we bring that basket into a relationship. So,
Yeah.
for anyone out there who is perhaps single, or perhaps the relationship is falling apart, the level that you love yourself will stand you in good stead when you're in that relationship. When you're fresh on the dating scene, the more comfortable you are in your own skin, the more you love yourself. When you go on a date, that person's going to pick up that vibrational energy, because we are energy. As I mentioned earlier on, physics has proven we're energy. So when you're around someone who likes themselves, then you like them, and you're happy to be in their presence. Self-love has often been derided as egotistical. We can't love ourselves. You simply can't love yourself. That's ego, but it's not ego. It's actually the foundation of who we are as individuals. We're not talking about vanity. We're talking about a much deeper level of trust. We trust ourselves, we love ourselves, we respect ourselves. You know, we forgive ourselves for anything that we've done to hurt others. We have to allow that. And science has found out that, you know, for example, when we meditate, when we want to be calm inside, we want our brain activity to be calm, forgiveness is truly a rewarding experience when we forgive others, but also when we forgive ourselves. And forgiving ourselves could be, for example, you might have made a mistake in the workplace yesterday and you're just angry at yourself and you're just beating yourself up over that. Forgive yourself. Let that go. Forgive yourself. Or it might be that you were in a relationship before and you weren't the person you wanted to be. Forgive yourself. It's gone. And that's the ultimate unlocking. So unlocking the handcuffs for you to be able to free yourself up and love yourself. There's too many people carrying so much baggage that they feel they don't deserve happiness, or they don't deserve to be successful, but they do. What's happened in the past has happened in the past. So forgiveness is one form of self-love.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point you made, like that forgiveness for yourself, isn't it? Because it's kind of like carrying those bricks, carrying that burden, and it's like you said, it's from the past. It's not in the here and now. And some people, they'll restrict themselves from doing certain things or thinking that they shouldn't deserve certain things or not going to be successful or whatever because of things in the past or how they were. And it's like forgiving yourself, isn't it? Is a key thing to do. And some people might find that hard, but it's ultimately the way forward because you can't drag all that stuff through your life, can you, really?
No, no. So again, forgiveness is detachment.
Mm,
That you've allowed yourself the freedom. For me, forgiveness is freedom to allow
mm,
yourself to move forward, to say, what's in the past is gone, and to forgive
mm,
others. It's a high form of self-love because your life is you. So whatever you have around you is a composite of what choices you've made in your life so far. So
mm,
you've dated that person, or you've bought those pair of shoes, bought that car, you went on a holiday to a place. It's all choices. Our choices are the things that open the doors in various aspects of our life. However, our choices are based on love and fear. So if
mm.
we fear something, we may not make a choice. If we love something, we may make the choice. Conversely, if we're trying to avoid something because of fear, we won't make the choice, or we make a bad choice. So it's for us to realize that the ultimate opposite of fear is the freedom to love.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I just got an image of somebody walking a tightrope with a stick, and either side was love and fear. I just, I just got, if life's kind of like that, isn't it? I think that things do scare you, and there's things that we love, and we're kind of like pulled either side. But it's making that right choice through fear, isn't it? And I think once you for fear, through love, and once, like you said, if you do those nice things for yourself, or you start doing those things, you kind of get more used to it, don't you? And you recognize what you do like. Like if you go somewhere nice and you allow yourself that experience, I think sometimes we can have guilt almost for allowing ourselves to probably do certain things, to have certain experiences. Oh, I shouldn't spend X amount of money on this, but it's okay to do that, and that's kind of part of self-love, isn't it?
Yes. And then you've got to examine then, if you're feeling that emotion of guilt, where does that come from? Because
Mm,
guilt could be from anything from the past, because it's a negative emotion. It's
mm,
related to something again from the past. It's never the future, it's always the past. But if we're experiencing something and we're getting a negative emotion around, like guilt or anxiety, then there's something we've got to deal with internally to solve that. So
yeah,
everyone deserves a good time, everyone deserves good experiences. But if you feel guilty about it, what is it that's happened before that you need to let go of?
yeah,
You're going to say, right, no, I deserve this, my life. Because we don't want to go to the end of our life thinking, wow, I wish I'd enjoyed myself more, or I wish I'd been on holidays. You don't want to start wishing when you're on your deathbed.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say, like, I know you're thinking for time, but like, is there anything that you're working on, or anything that you want to promote, or anything like that at all?
Um, Actually, before we talk about that, I just wanted to
Yeah,
share
of course.
with the audience really
Yeah.
simple tool that they can use every day to boost their self-love, to create self-love within
Mm,
themselves. That's a genuine um, way of creating self-love, and that's to look in the mirror, just to look in the mirror and to say 3 little sentences yourself, but to do this twice a day for 30 days and beyond. Just do it until you feel that change, and you'll feel the change quite soon. And it might seem a bit strange, or you might feel uncomfortable when you're doing this, because some people don't like what they see in the mirror, or they feel uncomfortable. But to look in the mirror and just to say, "I love you," and it could be for some people the first time they've ever said that. "I value you," so you value your time and energy. "I respect you." Because there are people out there who don't respect themselves, don't think they're worthy, and for them to look in the mirror, look into their soul, and the subconscious mind is listening. "I love you, I value, I respect you." To say those 3 things. It's okay if it's uncomfortable. It's okay if you don't believe it. Just keep saying it over and over again, because it has to go inside, and it won't go inside until you repeat it enough times that the doors open, and eventually you start feeling that. So it has to go through it has to go through the thinking apparatus, and then in the feeling. It's all connected up. So I love you, I value, I respect you. 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute before you go to bed. You can say it out loud or in silence. It doesn't matter, as long as you do it, and just look at your eyes in the mirror. And if in the mirror you don't like what you see, still keep looking, because you have one life. And I've seen numerous people change their life because of that one thing that they've done.
No, I really love that, David, and I really appreciate you sharing that. I think it's such an important ritual to have, like what you just said. And I think, like you said, like I've heard that the words that you say to yourself in the morning, or the things that you think in the morning, can kind of have a more of an impact. So I think if you was to do that every morning, or have that ritual of addressing that in the morning, it's gonna have a positive effect over that repetition of doing it, isn't it? Like you said, it's everything's all connected. Your thinking, your emotions, language you speak, behavior. So it all is positive. All a positive ritual, isn't it? I think that people should do, and I really appreciate you sharing that. I think that'll help a lot of people.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because it's quite easy to do it twice a day. Just do it, and it's only for a
Mm,
minute. And it's, even though it's small, the effect is huge.
mm.
Can be huge. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And like, are you working on anything that you want to share, or where can people find you on social media, and your book as well? Let It Go.
Yeah, I'm always delivering workshops. I'm always on Instagram. So my book's out there. So that's what's happening at the moment. That's
Yeah,
what's so I've
no,
been.
that's awesome. It's awesome, David. I'm really grateful to be your friend. I'm really grateful that we can have these conversations, and it's always awesome chatting to you.
Thank you. Likewise, mate. Likewise.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I'll speak soon, and hopefully do another one of these episodes.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome. Speak soon, David.